Hi, welcome to Penny Solutions. This video is actually for the O and A-level students, and today we are going to discuss about choosing your subject for your O-levels and A-levels. So, this year I faced some issues with these subject choosings with my students and as well as students from the outside. Normally এই বছর যেটা হয়েছে যে আমাদের কিছু students who were in science before, they decided to take who actually finished science before, decided to take business studies, accounting and economics for their A-levels. So I started thinking that why is this happening each year? But specifically in this year, the trend was very high. Actually, the students spending from science towards business was quite a lot actually. So when I started thinking, I was like, why is this happening, and why are they choosing business when their O-levels background was in science? আসলে এই জায়গাটা অনেকটাই depend করে that your influences when you are basically in class 8 maybe, yeah. So at the age of 15, when your university is actually a long way off, even though you are 15 and just an 8th grader, it is exactly the right time to think about your O and A-levels, yeah. And it is the right time to choose your subject. Which subject are you going to study for your O and A-levels, yeah, at the school? This decision is somewhat controlled by the degree you wish to pursue at the university, yeah. Subject choosing is important because picking the wrong combination of subjects and you could end up with a certain degree paths which are completely closed off. You should pick subjects that you feel you should do in the future, yeah, rather than something you're passionate about or as they may not excel, yeah, in the long run, yeah. So let's talk about the IAL. Let's talk about your A-levels now. Choose the subjects that you will enjoy. If you do not enjoy your subject during your A-levels, it actually is going to bring you a lot of frustration and boredom, right? If you enjoy the subject, maybe you will get a better grade in your exam. To justify which subjects are you going to choose for your A-levels, or you should consider the subjects, you need to think about two things. First is the content of the subject, and second, the skills that are required for the subject. You should have a real interest in the subject and the things you actually want to study. So if it seems relevant to you, if you are interested, do you give the subject an importance for your future? Yeah, and you should also think about the skills that the subject requires. For an example, if you're thinking of taking business, if you're thinking of thinking like economics, these subjects are basically a lot qualitative. So the basic requirement for this subject is you need you need a good command in English. It's not that you have to be an expert, you have to be the first speaker, or it's going to be your first language. That's not the point. The point is you need to have a very good basic and command in English, right? The way the subject is assessed and the way each subject is assessed in a very different way. So the way the subject is assessed is also very important, particularly if the assessment is involving a lot of 20 marks question, or maybe say a lot of writings, or maybe maths if you're not really good with it, or maybe if you're very good with it, right? So that is something that you need to understand before you choose this subject, right? Beware of taking a subject just because it sounds interesting. It might really sound interesting, but in real it might not be that interested into the subject when you're taking it for granted, right? Check it out carefully. Finding out more about the subject is very essential if you have not studied it before, right? When you look into maths or languages are examples of subjects where there is a real jump in difficulty and interest too. When you move into the A-levels, So if you're thinking your A-levels in these subjects, it is very important to talk about what's involved with the teachers and who actually knows your personal tutors, teachers who knows you closely. I think they can guide you better about your interest and abilities to do something. Secondly, choose subjects which will fit you in with your career plans. Yeah, if you have a very clear idea or a career plan, like what you want to be in the future, then I think you should immediately know which subjects you need to take. Or you can check out the UCAS websites where you will find the UK requirements for universities and actually the requirements for your A-levels and the university based on the subjects you want to choose in the future. Your school should be able to provide you career advising or maybe some kind of advices that you need before choosing your A-levels and O-level subjects. But don't feel you have to nail down your future plan before choosing A-levels. Keeping options open is always a good idea, though you should check that your A-level choices do not rule out degrees you are interested in. Yeah, you will also find out that there are many degrees and subjects which you can apply to with any combination of A-levels. So it is not that you are pretty much restricted or pushed towards a cone, yeah, of choices. Don't take an A-level subject that you know you will find really tough just because it is needed for a particular career, unless you have a good reason to believe that the subject will be easier for you at the higher sixth form of A-levels. So let's talk about some things apart from choosing the subjects and why you are influenced towards taking subjects that you don't want to. Normally what happens, especially if you talk about in Bangladesh, বাংলাদেশে আমাদের education system, if you're talking about the English medium school, আমাদের education system আমরা normally from 7th, like till class 7, we don't have business studies, economics, accounting, or commerce. Yeah, so our parents and the school management, sometimes the subject teachers of other subjects, they think commerce just as to be the Bangladeshi, like the Bangladesh educational system, or like they think commerce just like the way it is in Bangla medium. Well, it's not. So what happens when you're asking someone that are you going to take science or commerce? It really does not work out the same way for the English medium students. Well, let's come to the point. Till your 7th grade, you don't have these subjects, and when you're given an option in class 8 or in some schools maybe class 9 to choose this subject, you don't have any idea what these subjects are. Therefore, you choose something which is familiar to you, which is something like maybe physics, chemistry, biology, maths, and the rest of the compulsories, so-called compulsories. So what happens is you are actually choosing a cone to go for just because you did not have these subjects in the past. That's one great reason why like a lot of students ends up taking business, accounting, economics when it comes to A-levels, though they had their background of O-levels in from science. Take your time. Take time to find out all you need to know. You will need time to think carefully about your interests, skills, and about the possible directions when you leave the 6th form. You then need to match these ideas up to the A-level subject on offer, which will involve finding out more about them. It's really a good thing to take advices. While other people advise us, they might have very good ideas and very good opinions, advice, which are worth considering, but consider them carefully. Don't forget that this is your choice in the end. You are the person who will be doing and studying this subject, right? And it's your future with the A-levels as well as the university. Take advice seriously. But just choose an A-level subject, or just choosing an A-level subject just as your friends are taking it. For so like there are 10 friends in the class, 9 of them are taking science, so I'll be taking science. Don't do that. In the end, you need to decide what are you gonna do, what are you good with, what are you good in, because see, everyone if everyone cannot think themselves as an engineer, neither everyone wants to be a doctor, or it may not, people have different dreams. We are different people. We are not the same, we're not the same deep in our mind. We have different dreams, different things to do in life, and we have, each one of us, doesn't matter what's your age, but each one of us have a different way towards leadership, towards life, and we see people and things in a different way. So that's why it's important that you should know your skills, your points of interest, and all the possible directions that you want to go or pursue your career in the future. Your current teachers are one of the best resources you have to take advice from, because they know your intellectual strengths and weaknesses. At the same time, be careful when you're choosing someone, because sometimes we as teachers we are actually biased towards our own subject. So you need to think that, am I biased to my subject when I'm advising you? Yeah, or are we really doing it just because I love this subject, I love my subject, which are business and economics? Is it the same reason I'm asking you to take that or not? So that's one thing you should realize. And the other thing is, studying with the teacher you like and respect can make a real difference, but don't choose a subject just because you like and respect that particular teacher. At the bottom line, choose your subjects wisely. Your current teachers are actually a very good strength to understand your intellectual strengths, weaknesses, and how good are you going to be with the subject. For example, like these weeks I had 3 to 4 calls. So কলগুলো অনেক সময় এরকম ছিল যে for example, I'm giving you an example of a student. এখান থেকে একটা কেস আমি যদি বলি আপনাকে specifically. So যেটা হচ্ছে যে he gave me a call and he explained his situation. This kid did not had maths, the pure maths for his O-levels. Now what happened? He had maths during his A-levels. He chose maths because his friends was a very good influence in it. So he just spent 1.5 years doing accounting and maths. Now he wants to switch his subjects. He wants to cancel the maths, and he wants to join the business studies, or maybe say like the business as a subject for A-levels. The thing is, sometimes I do suggest take one qualitative subject and maybe say like 2 quantitative subjects, or say 1 quantitative subject, 2 qualitative subjects. Sometimes choosing both qualitative or both quantitative might not be the right idea. And if you're talking about maths or subjects that actually needs a very strong background during your O-levels, it's actually something that you should not be choosing for your A-levels, right? If you do not have pure maths, why are you choosing maths as your maths during your A-levels? Why didn't you take pure maths during your O-levels? If you thought that would be tough, it wasn't a very good idea when you are taking it during your A-levels. Yeah, and the end of the day, you need to think ahead. You need to think of statistics. You need to think of 8 years or 6 years from now. যে সাবজেক্টগুলো আমি চুজ করছি সেটার মার্কেট কন্ডিশন ফিউচারে কি হবে, রাইট? মার্কেট সিচুয়েশনটা ফিউচারে কি হবে? If sometimes I see students who comes to me and tells me like, actually I was very much interested in arts, I wanted to be a designer, and just because of my parents don't want, I want to take this subject. But the thing is, what I suggest is the world is moving. Even designers, even if you talk about people, students looking for arts and they want to take arts in their A-levels, or maybe say they want to take arts in the future, I think they have a wider ground now. Yeah, everything you do, you can be competitive with it. So think and take your subject. Stop complaining. Please stop complaining about your A-levels. A-levels is tough. I can't get over it. I mean, there should be alternative to A-levels. Stop thinking. You need all you need to pass your A-levels is a lot of focus. You need to study, and you need the right teacher, the right coach to guide you through your A-levels. Yeah, stay connected with us. Please do stay connected. Let us know if we can help you out with your subject choosing, or if you need some advices, as this was the first video that I had, and like first video that I made. So I think, you know, there's a lot of ups and downs and crumbs, and please avoid those. Just try to focus in like the main topic. And the final thing is, thanks for watching. Thanks for being with us. And it's going to be great if you can give us some ideas to come up with more videos and suggestions, like what you want to see or what do you want to find out. We'll be waiting for your replies in the comment section. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being with us. Good night.